Let's see. Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner, right? We are talking about Oklahoma on the wheel, right? John Mateer, that's an easy storyline, right? John Mateer, we saw what he did from Washington State. We saw the impact he had when he came to Oklahoma last year, right? Led them to a 10-3 season. Really gave them a spark, right? Really changed things for Oklahoma, right? Really flipped the script because some could say this was Venables. This was Venables. Um, he was on the hot seat. He was on the hot seat, right? Let me dive into this real quick. College football talk. My guy Chris. I made some OU fans mad last week. Bold prediction: OU misses the playoffs. Hey, we're gonna dive into that. All right, we're gonna dive into that. But we'll land on Oklahoma, so let's talk Oklahoma. 10-3 college football playoff run last year, right? You could think a lot of things, right? Brent Venables calling the defense now, right? You could think Ben Arbuckle coming from Washington State being the OC, bringing his quarterback John Mateer, which is a trend, right? Any person that's transferring as an OC, you usually want to bring your quarterback. They know the system really. That's been the trend going forward, right? Mateer, storylines to think about. Hot start, Heisman candidate, he gets injured. We saw what that did for Oklahoma throughout the year in regards to, losing some key games, really getting tight, Can he be elite and a difference maker, right? Threw over 2,900 yards, also had 11 interceptions, right? Can he be a difference maker in the second year, third time or fourth time in Ben Arbuckle's system, right? And are they good enough to weather the storm of what is a brutal schedule? We'll dive into it as well, too. Players, we already talked about Mateer, huge. Now, he's losing Deion Brooks, one of his top receivers, but he gets a transfer from Parker Livingstone, transfer from Texas, right? And also Isaiah Santiga, a senior wide receiver. Those are going to be his two go-to guys in regards to what this offense is going to look like. Now, it's a young offensive line group. They're led by guard Michael Fasui, 6'5", 320 guard, sophomore guard, right? He's going to lead that young group of offensive linemen in the battle this year for Oklahoma. Defensively is where I have the most concerns, right? My most worries, my most concerns about Oklahoma is Brent Venables' strength, and that's defense. The reason why is because not only did they lose a lot, they're young and they're not that deep, right? They're not that deep, so this is going to be growing pains. And we'll dive into the schedule, but those growing pains may have to grow up real quick. So one of their top D linemen that's returning, his name is David Stone, right? He plays nose tackle. He's going to be the key, at least to that D line, right? Now, reinforcements, some of the guys that they did bring in, right? Some guys that Pops, right, who just did Chasing Omaha right before this show, may know about. We're talking about Dakota Fields, cornerback from Oregon, and we're talking about Caleb Sullivan, linebacker from Arkansas, right? Those guys are going to have to be key contributors, right, to helping this defense grow and grow fast, right? And grow fast because, again, when we take a look at their schedule is brutal, man. Their schedule is brutal, right? I'll bring it up right here. And we'll play the infamous win-loss, win-loss, loss-loss, win game looking at the schedule. So you start off with UTEP, right? It's a nice warm-up game. You go right over to Michigan at the Big House. Come back, you got New Mexico State, or you got New Mexico. And you go right out to Georgia, right? So your first 4 weeks, you got a top 5 Big Ten team and probably one of the top teams in the SEC at both cribs, right? So you come off of that nice little vacation. Now you got Red River and you got to play Texas. All right? Now you got to play Texas. Arch Manning in the game, Cole Coleman in the game, right? So what is this team going to look like, right? Are they going to be, let's see, can they weather the storm and be 3-1 by Red River, right? Best case scenario, right? Then you got Kentucky. It starts to lighten up a little bit. Mississippi State, South Carolina. And you got the Gators at night, boy. Listen, I tell you, we've been waiting for that since the Orange Bowl Natty, since the Major Rice sideline hit, and we all know what I'm talking about. We've been waiting for Oklahoma. We've been waiting to see Oklahoma. So they're coming to the Swamp at night. That's going to be a big game, right? You could almost say that's a trap game because you got Ole Miss right behind them. Then after Ole Miss, you got Texas A&M, and you finish with Missouri. So listen, there's no easy road for a young Oklahoma defense, a defense that has little experience, a defense that listen, it's gonna be rough, right? This is gonna have to be Brent Venables, one of his best coaching jobs since probably being the DC at Clemson, and what he did with those defenses there, right? This is gonna have to be. He's gonna have to put in some work. And one of the main things or main questions I have heading into the season for Oklahoma, it's not just about the offense being a strength, but can John Mateer and Ben Arbuckle average north of 24 points per game? And can the defense win at least one or two games? That's going to be key if this team makes the playoffs. Now, do they make the playoffs? I don't think so. I don't think Oklahoma makes playoffs, and that's not because I don't think they're going to be good. I think their schedule is brutal for a team that doesn't have a lot of experience on the defensive side, right? Again, Brent Venables, we'll see what he could do. We'll see what tricks he could pull out the hat. But we're going to get to the part where John Mateer, he's going to start playing hero ball and start feeling like he has to carry the team. And it's basically going to be what we saw at the end of the season, right, where he rushed back from the thumb injury, feel like he had to do more than what he should. The rest is history. But can John Mateer take his talent to another level? Listen, it's not out of the realm, right? It's possible, but yet to be seen.